What's up, Sim Racers? Larry, TJR Sim here, and I'm getting back into VR a little bit more here. I am running a PC with a 4090 Windows 11, and of course, as some of you probably already know, is that a lot of the, depending on the service pack that you run on Windows 11, or if you got the latest updates, it bricks your HMDs that are supported from Microsoft. So that's a shame. It should be unlawful. They should somehow fix that, but I can't use my HP Reverb anymore. There are some alternatives. You can go look at Pimax Crystal, and actually if you had a Reverb G2 or proof of it, you can take a picture of the serial number and send it in to them, and they'll give you some credit on it. I actually tried that as well. It did work. I just didn't pull the trigger on it because they have the super version out, and I think I'd rather go that route than the Crystal, although the Crystal should probably be more than enough. Anyway, I digress. So I picked up, to get more use out of this, I picked up this Aeolian, if I said that right. And this is the HMD converter here. You've got your power, your in, and your display port. So your display port, your USB-C to A, and then of course this is your PlayStation USB-C. So your HMD will plug directly into here instead of your PlayStation, of course. This will be your data, runs to your PC, power to the wall, of course, and then the display port to your PC as well. Lo and behold, of course, it comes with a power kit, but it does nicely come with the display port cable, which is really nice. It's not a very long one, but it's plenty long for what I need to do it. And then, of course, the USB-C to USB 3.0. So everything comes in a box. It was 40 bucks. I'll leave a link in the description, affiliate link in the description. Is on Amazon. There's some other brands as well out there, but this one I actually tested and it works beautifully well. I'll digress further into the video here. I'll show you some gameplay, the software setup, and let's get on with it. Alrighty then, so you're ready to rock out with some software here. So we go ahead and find it in the Steam library. I'll go ahead and drop a link in my description here or pin it so you can find it quickly. On Steam, I had a hard time finding it in just the search bar. Just couldn't find it at all. Ended up finding it off the web for an actual link to this here. But anyway, I digress. As you see there, it's showing how to plug everything in. It's as simple as it gets, right? So plug in all your hardware and then get things ready. So first, what you want to do is grab your controllers, and before you launch this app, and link your controllers up Bluetooth to your PC, just like you link up any other Bluetooth device. Do both of them first, and then you'll be ready to go ahead and launch the app. Then go ahead and launch this app. Your PlayStation headset, you don't really need to put it on just yet. And you just follow the on-screen prompts, and it's pretty easy. Follow them along. We'll note that if you're using the PlayStation earbuds, which I would suggest using them, they're actually pretty loud with sim racing, like Autumn Blissa 2 that I tested it with. Go ahead and unplug them from the back of the headset. That way, it will set up the sound to go through there. So I digress here. Your little earbuds here. Go ahead and unplug them from the back here, right? And wait till it prompts you to put them on, or to plug them in rather. And then that's it. But you just go through and select each screen. It'll ask you to go ahead and turn on each controller. You'll turn them on. It'll show that it's connected. Here, you'll go ahead and push on the bottom of my headset again. You'll go ahead and push on the bottom of your headset here to turn it on as well. Well, actually, you got to turn it on first, right? But turn it on, follow the on-screen prompts. If you hold it, it'll go back in menu. If you click it, it'll go next menu. And it just syncs it all up. It's actually really easy. Go ahead and adjust it out like normal, and you'll end up with this final screen showing that everything's all hooked up and adjusted, and life is merry, right? So after that, and then we'll turn it on. See what happens here. When I go to put this on, I am seeing the PlayStation logo come up, and what it tells me is to go ahead and take the headset off because nothing's launched, right? So what you want to do, and it's a little cumbersome when you're in a sim rig holding all these things together here, but what you want to go ahead and do is obviously go over here and launch a PlayStation app. This is what's going to come up. And it's going to tell you go ahead and pair your controllers together. So that's up to date. Connect your device. So since you already paired it, go ahead and click the PlayStation. Ooh, where's the camera here? The PlayStation button here. Turn it on. It says it's up to date. Same thing with the other one. Up to date. And then you can set them aside. You only actually need one afterwards, just to keep handy to play around. In this menu system here, this is where you can set your play area. The very first time it'll ask you to set the play area, but since I already set it, it'll make you or since I already set it, it's not going to come up as an option, right? But you can set your playset area here if you find you need to extend it, because I'm in a motion rig, and so sometimes I'm moving forward and backwards. You can just extend it and easily just trace out your surroundings past where you need it. It's just a little warning, they may come up when your dog walks in like mine does and triggers the field. So just something I noticed that happened. But anyway, yeah, it's just easy stuff to do, right? So and then you can turn off the health warnings and stuff here. Your app data settings are all on here, whether you want to share stuff or not, and continue. And this is it. You're done. So this part's done. I'm going to put the headset back on just to show you what it's going to say here. It's still showing me to remove the headset, which means we're not quite set up, right? Well, why? So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and launch your Windows Mixed Reality here. Launch it. And you can go ahead and open Steam. Of course, it's going to open up your Steam here, and you will see now it is playing in SteamVR. And right here, if I put this on, I am now in my SteamVR, and then I can of course use my controllers to navigate and launch the games. You actually will launch your games within the SteamVR with your headset on, so you're going to want to use your controller as well, of course, to launch that. And yeah, pretty easy. That's all there is to it. Enjoy, right? So this controller is currently tracking, so this one here. What I notice here as far as display performance and stuff here, it doesn't tell me now because I already linked it up, but the very first message you'll get is this one here. And let's see if I can zoom up on this a little bit. It will say SteamVR isn't set as your default OpenXR runtime, so set that as default so it'll run in OpenXR, and then you're good to go. It won't seem to ask you again. Well, sometimes it may ask you again. It actually asked me again today, but since I just turned it off and returned it on just to show these steps to you, it didn't ask me again. But as far as resolution settings here, I just left it to default. It looks beautiful on there. When you go to settings, drag this over here, and set your resolution here for your game, or set them per game. I leave this default 3400 by 3468 at 100%. It's fine. You can go up higher if you want to, but this is running 100 plus FPS, no problem. Actually, with AMS2 with 23 cars on track, I didn't drop below 111. And then of course I would go up to 120 in some instances. So, which is another thing you'll want to do is go ahead and enable the 120 FPS settings. So let me go to the PlayStation VR here, settings, play area settings, see app data settings. Is that it? No, it is open and play area settings. Let me see if this is it. This is. So this is what it's showing you that you're doing here. So here's a good example of what's going to go on. I'll just walk through this with you. So if I want to set, I know I just went a little bit odd, but if I want to set this, which I really like the little button you can click on here to give you a full perspective. But I noticed, you may not notice, but on screen, well, yeah, you should notice because recording it on screen, it's off to the left a little bit. If I was to hold this, or I'm sorry, if I was to hold the setup Bluetooth button here, down for a second, it will recenter your screen. So as a quick little tip, the recenter is just holding it down on the controller. Also, if you already have your controller set down and you're actually in the game playing and you're wanting to adjust your distance here, you can kind of cheat the system and like lean really far back in your seat to make the view pull forward to you, or you can lean forward because maybe it's too far back and it'll lean back for it to come forward and lean forward for it to push it a little bit further away from you. And you can do that just by clicking this bottom one here, which will go to this environment that you see right now, and then click it again and it'll go back in the game and set based off of your body position. So that's a quick little hack to do. But here you will of course need your play area settings. I don't really need to set it, but if I hit play area, I'll say custom, and you can hopefully you can see, let me see, edit play area here, and it's in orange, and then I can just kind of trace out where I want. I don't know if that showed up on camera or not, but that's what you can do. And then say finish editing, and then you're done. Close, and there we are. That wasn't what the setting I was looking for. I was looking for the setting to switch it to 120 FPS, but there is a setting in there. And let me see. All right, so where is the 120 FPS setting? Let's look again. Oh, here it is. Right here, I don't know why I didn't even see it a while ago. Right here, you'll see 90 or 120. AMS2 will run good in 90. It looks beautiful, but it has a little bit of stutters in it every once in a while. So when you switch to 120, it looks butter smooth. So very, very good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and launch the game, and I will give you some feedback of what I think and the conclusion of it all. Alrighty. Thing about this headset is it's so like plasticky. I don't know if it's coming up on the screen, but I'll go ahead and launch. You know, in SteamVR, it's showing launch. Click it and launch. I tend to just try to set exactly straight when I'm going to go in the game. That way, when it launches the game, however your head's pointing is where it puts the whole screen at. So in this case, it just puts it in flat view right here in the front. And if I don't like that, of course, I can just always use the controller and hold it down for 2 seconds for it to center up again. So verifying. Let's see. Actually, do I got to use the right one for that? Wow, so cumbersome. Yeah, you got to use the right controller to center it up. All right, great. So you would think I would have reviewed this ahead of time. Actually, I did review it ahead of time. But what I noticed is it gives you that eye tracking thing there where if you pause on something and just look at it for a couple seconds, it'll launch into it. But if you just grab your mouse, move it around a few times, it will operate or switch over to the mouse. And actually what I end up doing is turning that off. I go look for my mouse to make sure I get it in the same screen area. Turn this back on. And there we go. Now I got my mouse button. So that's how I do it. Seems to work just fine. And I can just start up a game. Alrighty, so a while ago I mentioned, I noticed when I was going back through the video to do some editing, I noticed a couple little errors. When I was trying to access my mouse, normally I do it the way I just said, is I'll click that bottom button to get out of the application, or to see, you know, as if I can touch things in the non-VR world. And then I click it again and it'll somehow activate my mouse. Just a quick little hack I do. That actually works, but what I noticed, what was really hanging me up, as you see in the video, is these dang menus are in the way. So be sure to drag them off out of your way. Before you try to get into your menu. So I'll go ahead and launch the VR here as well, and you can see the on screen here as well. I'm just using a full screen capture, so you might not see exactly everything to the 1:1 scale that I'm using right here, but it is what it is. I want to just talk through it, so I turn the volume down so I can talk through this, and you can hear, or I can tell you what I'm actually seeing, compared to, say, the HP Reverb G2, and also, let's see, I don't know, I've had them all, the G3s and the G3, I forgot, the Odyssey version, and then yeah, Odyssey, the HP Reverb G2, of course, and the the Quest and all that. So a bunch of them. All right, first off, what I'm seeing here, and I will note that it's a little clumsy using this headset with the wire on there, and then somehow you got to use your controllers. Now, comparing it to, say, the HP Reverb G2, which is what I'm mostly used to, I don't even have to pull a controller out. I can leave them set aside, controllerless and all. So that's a big tick for the G2 just to start with. I would imagine the Pixel Crystal Lite would be the same, and even the Super as well. But as far as just looking at what's going on track and my car itself, I mean, first of all, this is an ultimate experience, using VR, motion, direct drive wheel, haptics on my pedals as well for feeling when I'm spinning or locking at my tires. Very, very immersive, and just I get all these cues. When you couple it with the in the cockpit view of VR, oh man, it just brings it all together, right? So looking at what's going on in the car, just kind of cruising around on track here, the car itself up close looks beautiful. Even looking out onto the landscape and stuff looks really, really good. It's similar to your PlayStation Gran Turismo setup as well. I mean, it looks pretty close. I mean, AMS2 actually looks better to me than Gran Turismo 7 does in VR, but as far as the performance and stuff, it's equal to it. So if you are enjoying what you're seeing in Gran Turismo 7, it looks basically the same for all intents and purposes with the PC versions and stuff. So just to justify whether you should spend $40 on a adapter, I mean, $40, I mean, it's not that much money to extend the use of your headset to use it in PC mode. So, but yeah, it looks pretty much on par to what Gran Turismo 7 does in VR to me. I think that actually the cars and stuff, especially the details of the cars, the other cars that are in front of you, which I don't have any right here in front of me, maybe I'll slow down, this one catch up to me. The resolution as far as the identifying like taillights, like the mirror there looks really good. Oh, let me catch this guy. Well, shit, I can't drive, can I? Did you ever hear the saying that the race is in front of you, not behind you? Well, that's a great reason. All right, here comes another guy. All right, so as far as details go with this particular Audi R8 in front of me, is I can really make out the details in the wing, the wheels, the flame out the back, the tail lights, even up close, the reflections off the tail lights, the shading going across the map and across the shading of the trees across the back of that car look very, very detailed to me. So very nice. Looks really good. Now, you do have the screen door effect on here. That part is there. It's not like it's like the Oculus Rift, version of screen door effect, but it's just like it is in the PlayStation VR2. In Gran Turismo 7 when you use this in there. So yeah, it is what it is. You do get a little bit of glow on the tail lights here as well. Could be some settings that can maybe optimize in this Automobilista 2 rather, but I actually have everything set on high or ultra for everything, so it runs super smooth. I mean, I'm running at 120 FPS. I don't have my app. I have a little app that I use, FPS VR, that you can get on Steam as well. It's free, and you can see your FPS that you're running. Last test I did on this track actually as well as Bathurst is I didn't drop below 111 FPS. And then, of course, I did actually see 120 FPS as well quite often. I'm using a 4090, so it's a beefy GPU as well. But, yeah, when you get a list, even just looking at the beauty of the shine of that car, I mean, like, they did a really good wax job on that car, Fuck, man, it looks good. And the mirrors is very similar to what you see in Gran Turismo 7. The mirrors in Gran Turismo 7 is like it looks even cleaner, right, than it does looking out. It doesn't have that screen door effect, right, in the mirror. So this is really how it looks here as well. is missing that screen door effect, except for the dirtiness in the side mirror. You do get that in the AMS2. That's just this particular game. But yeah, it looks really good, man. I mean, for freaking 40 bucks, I'm able to extend the life of this. I don't really have to go spend $800 on a crystal light or anything. I don't play VR as much as I do triple screens anymore, because honestly, I've been waiting for VR to get their shit together and advance it all. And yeah, it's now I think probably the highest end one that's coming out here pretty soon next month is the Crystal Super, and that one looks very, very promising with a higher field of view and 3820 or something like that by 3820, whatever it is, per eye. So it looks very, very it should look lifelike at that point, right? Picture quality. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get one in I'll have to buy it, of course, to review it. And I think I'm holding out for that one because I don't want to spend the money for the Crystal Light. I don't think. I'll just wait for the Super, and I'll actually wait for a couple reviews because because they've had some QC problems in the past. So I'll wait till some of those bugs get ironed out. So maybe 6 months before I get it. But until then, I'm able to enjoy VR, having a lot of fun on my PC, and games that I really enjoy more than Gran Turismo 7. So yeah, really good. That's probably enough comparison. Everything on track, like I said, looks like Gran Turismo 7 does, the resolution wise, the clarity, the details in the cars, the details in the track, the shadows and everything. Really good. They got a really good wax job on that car too. There's no shimmering or anything going on when you're around these cars and stuff, and then when they're going by, he's going by, it's no like shimmering going on, so it's running very, very solid. Of course, again, I have a beefy GPU, so that has something to do with it as well. Oh, I will mention again, if I didn't mention it in the intro, you do lose some features with this on PC. There is no eye tracking. Not really a big deal for sim racing, in my opinion. Yeah, there isn't that, and you don't have to get the vibration in your headset. Except when you turn it on, of course it vibrates to let you know, but if you get in a collision and stuff, you don't get that, and same with the controllers as well. So there are some downsides if you want to use this on PC and expecting that feature, right? So I have motion, so I don't really need all that haptic stuff. It happens with all the D-box transducers and stuff, so I'm good to go. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. All right, let me go to conclusion, and we'll go from there, all right? Man, I'm just having too much fun here. Alrighty, conclusion. So if you notice that on the playback that my AI camera just went off to the side for some reason, I guess it thought my head went to the side. I don't know. AI is supposed to take over the world. It can't even keep up with my damn face. So, alright, so conclusion-wise, running the PlayStation VR2 headset on your PC is actually a joy. It's fun. I had a great time the other day. I was playing it for hours, and I just really forgot how fun VR is with sim racing. I got so used to just using triple screens. It's a nice break, right, to get more immersed in the game. I'm definitely, I don't know that I'm really any faster in VR. I theoretically should be, because I can see through the corners a lot better. I can really identify the distance of the cars and stuff. But really what this review is about is just the adapter, right, the $40 adapter. So I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link. It'll be an affiliate link onto Amazon, and click it and let her rip if you're into that. Or if you don't want to, search up the name. Don't use the affiliate link. I don't care. But all in all, it's really good. The only downside I did notice when I was closing out this game was when I took the headset off, conclusion-wise here, when I took the headset off, I lost the ability to close the game for some reason. It only happens every once in a while. Normally, if I pop the headset off and put it back on, I'm just right back into the game, but my mouse cursor went away. Sometimes I'd have to use maybe I'll have to use this. I don't know. I didn't try it this last time to see, but I just did a Control-Delete to quit the game because I was done with what I was doing anyways. So, but generally, whenever I switch between, as far as the bottom button here to see what's going on, or where is it at? Right there. The switch of what's going on around me, I don't have any problem reconnecting in the game. I haven't had that at all. But when I physically took the headset off, it had an issue. I didn't notice that before until today, but maybe because I'm recording at the same time, who knows. But that's one downside I saw, and also just the ergonomics of the PlayStation VR2 set isn't that, it's a hot headset to me. I tend to sweat more in this headset than any other headsets I've had, and it's just a little plasticky. But it's not really a review on the headset, but it is what it is, right? So, all right, well, go out and spend 40 bucks on it if you want it. If you're going to use it at least once, it'll be worth it, because a couple tacos cost 40 bucks nowadays. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I will reach back out to you and answer them the best I can. If not, have fun on the track. I'm out.